welcome to Death Row.
Like we always do about this time.
I'm gonna fight your fucking ass!
You don't got, you're playing touch butt with that dork in the park.
There's a little snake in the grass.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
No fucking Jesus, people!
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Hey, pussy, are you still there?
I'm back.
Who the fuck is that guy? Break out the red panties. We're rich, baby.
I would like to introduce...
Welcome to MMAforMoney Special Edition. I am your host at Don't Cope Just Win on Twitter, Mike Copenhaver. I'm here with my guest and co-host, one of my best friends since I was 9 years old. His name is Christopher Villa. It's a pleasure to be with you, bro.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
So today, since Bob is away with his family on Thanksgiving, we're going to do a special Thanksgiving edition. Basically, it's going to be me and my buddy. We're going to talk about a little bit about UFC. There could be some gambling talk. There will be some talk about some of the projects that he's doing. One of them is a company called Dank City on IG. They do a lot of cannabis content and media. A lot of fun stuff for the younger generations and all generations for that matter. So just bear with us today as we just flip things a little differently. Normally we talk about, bets, but with no UFC coming up this weekend, we're just going to, freestyle it and just have a little bit of fun. So I'm going to have Chris talk a little bit about what he just did with Dank City. He just cut a interview with UFC fighter and superstar Jorge Masvidal, which you guys all know I'm a huge fan of. Been a fan since all the way back in the day when he actually somehow fluke lost to Toby Imada, which was one of my brother's main training partners back in, I think it was like 2005, something crazy. So I've been a huge George fan, and I couldn't believe when Chris gave me the call and told me that he was going to be going over to the hotel down in Los Angeles, I believe it was, and just get to meet him and spend some time with him. So I'll let Chris talk a little bit about that interview and meeting George.
Yeah, so it was super random. Our company does a variety of content. It's not just cannabis all the time, but just recently we've done some fighting pieces. But it started with doing mostly content for Tommy Chong and a number of other social media influencers of that sort. And we manage accounts, create content for their accounts, and blah, blah, blah. So it has extended into other worlds. And, there's a lot of people that smoke cannabis and watch fighting. So it kind of is a hybrid of audience. And I'm not exactly sure how my boss got linked up, going back before George. Our boss linked up with Andy Ruiz Jr., the heavyweight boxing champ right now. I think next Saturday is his rematch against AJ. And once we had a couple pieces of content with Andy put together an interview, we did some CBD promos with him and a day in the life of video. And our boss showed, I think our boss is friends with George's manager somehow. And he kind of showed him, and he knew he was in town. And obviously he'd had a big win last month. And I believe he found out that it was the same day that he did Brendan Schaub's show. What is it, the Food Truck Diaries?
Yes.
It was the same day that George was on that, and that came out last week. So that same day that he did that, we met up with George that night. Nice. But we used the content that we had created for Andy to kind of get our foot in the door with George. And we kind of basically told him, we'll make it easy on you. You don't have to come here. We'll come to you. Where are you? What do you want to do? We'll talk about whatever it is you want. We just want to meet you. And, we don't see a lot of content of him out there until recently. So, and most of those are, he's answering a lot of fighting questions, which we still asked him, but we also want to know more about like him. And, so it was cool to see him comfortable in the room of his own, or his comfort of his own room at the SLS in Beverly Hills. And, we just kind of hung out for like probably an hour, and we're basically putting out. We didn't cut anything out of the interview. The video will be out probably the first week of December at some point, if not second week. Be on the lookout. You can follow our YouTube. Go just type in Dank City on YouTube, and you'll see Andy Ruiz pieces pop up because those have been our most popular ones. But probably in the next 2 weeks, the George piece will be out. And I might as well mention it. We're trying to do more stuff with him. So we would like to do a day in the life of with him. We're trying to reach out and see how that works. But I know, as many of you know, he lives in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're in LA. And so we'll have to link up. Fingers crossed that we can go to Vegas the same day he's in Vegas for the next fight. What number is that, by the way? Do you happen to know? I'll keep talking while you look that up. But yeah, we would love to just meet up with him there and, show a day in the life of video of basically a guest of honor at the next, big event, and just see what it's like to be a guest of honor at the next event, shaking hands, taking pictures. And it's crazy, man. I mean, being around Andy for the last couple shoots that we've done where we're just wandering a mall or in a Walmart or whatever, it's, he takes the time to take pictures with everybody and sign the autographs and do all that. So it's pretty cool to all of a sudden be, not only I've been a fan of boxing and MMA my whole life, to be able to hang out with two guys that arguably had their best year in their careers in the same weeks.
It's pretty amazing.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it.
So back to Masvidal. Masvidal doesn't have a fight scheduled yet because I'm sure they're waiting for the matchup between Usman and Covington to go down for their championship belt in welterweight. So they'll probably, if he's smart, which I know George is, he's going to be waiting for that title shot, which he deserves more than absolutely anybody. George Masvidal doesn't do many interviews with many people because he doesn't like fake shit. So to get an interview with him is special. I mean, Ariel Helwani, is another name that he likes to go on. And it's his manager. I don't know his exact name, but I know he's just a great dude. He runs George's Twitter account, I believe, and everything that has to do with George. And he does a great job at it. And look how far he's gotten him. So I just was super jealous when Chris got to go over and hang out with one of my just all-time just superstar heroes. I love George Masvidal. My brother being a fighter, I like real fighters. And most of the time if you listen to the podcast, we talk about matchups. I usually favor a wrestler over anyone because I did wrestling and jiu-jitsu, or that's what I like. But when it comes down to, once we break down the wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and then the boxing, it comes down to heart after that. And heart is the most important. That's why I would always bet on George Masvidal, because I knew that he's a real fighter. You put him in the street, he'll eat your face off if he has to feed his family. You put certain other fighters in the street, they're not going to do that. Example, Dominic Cruz. I've known him since we were young. Known him before he got famous, and he was eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and that's all he could afford. He isn't tough. If you call him out on the street, he's not going to do anything about it. He's not going to protect and back up his name. There's just certain people like George, they'll hand out the 3-piece and the soda very willingly, like a fast food rep. So I can't wait for Chris to get another chance at George Masvidal. I'm pretty sure he will.
Or some other fighters. Now we could use that piece to kind of levy up and get some other fighters. Let me know who you want me to interview. Well, here's the thing, by the way, just to keep it clear, we're not in front of camera when we're interviewing George. It's just him on the couch, which makes it so cool.
Oh yeah,
and so much better. And we basically just let him talk. And it's funny, the bullet points you said about what you love about him are actually things he goes into about how his management has literally made him a better fighter because he doesn't have to think about anything but fighting.
Yeah,
because he trusts his team so much that they're going to do their job. You'll see him talk about that. You'll see him talk about how he's, since the day that he can remember, he was born to be a fighter.
Yep.
It's in him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's great. The things that Mike are talking about, you're going to hear the man himself be in the same outfit, by the way, that he was on in the Food Truck Diary show. He's wearing that same outfit in our interview, so it's kind of funny. You will match up the days. But yeah, it was the end of his day, so he's just super relaxed and he's just being real. And you guys are gonna love hearing what you hear from this guy.
Yeah, and then so last week he did the George Masvidal piece first, and then he did the Andy Ruiz, and so I was obviously texting him the whole time while he was with him. I believe the Wilder fight was on that same night, and so he was hanging out with him while the fights were going on. And we all love sports betting, so I was like, "Damn, dude! Obviously, I know Wilder's gonna win. That's the obvious, but like, what's the over under? Ask Ruiz what that over under is on that 6.5." And it's what's funny is my first instinct was to go on the under because I knew Wilder could kill him, and so a lot of the times I like to go against my initial instinct because I feel like that's what the odds makers wanted the public to do is use their emotions, and so I get my first instinct sometimes is emotions. So I stopped for a second. I was like, nah, I'm not going to do the under. What was he saying, Chris? And then so Ruiz finally got back to us and told he liked the under. And so I already bet the over 6.5 at that moment. And I was like, damn it, dude. But I got to believe in myself. So I was happy that I barely cashed that bet. It was by a hair of my chinny chin because it just got into the 7th and he knocked that guy's lights out. But
that was the best call I've seen you make where you flip it like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't lie. I kept with the under because both of you guys said it, and I was like, yeah, you're right. He's gonna come out swinging. But then everybody in the house, including Andy, said
under.
That was a different style, though.
Oh, okay.
For Wilder.
Okay.
They were kind of shocked. Like, this is not what he does.
Okay.
So he's either grown as a boxer and is learning how to feel things out better, or just I don't know. But everybody kind of agreed that like he just didn't come out like he did until that round.
Yeah.
So it's like.
It's so funny too because
did he have money on that?
Yeah, right?
You know?
So Chris and I we bet together. We like to say professionally for the last 3 years, and so we always like to run by stuff and through each other. But I knew that I bet the over. But I knew Chris being next to Andy Ruiz that he was going to go the opposite with the under because he's next to Andy Ruiz and a bunch of boxers.
Yeah.
So what the fuck does an MMA guy know about this match? So it's what's funny is I got lucky though. It is what it was. But I told Chris when he said everyone in this house says go under, I said perfect.
There you go.
I said I like the over even better now. I've always have liked going against everybody in the room. It's just like I've given an example. Everyone was on Ronda Rousey in the room that when that happened, and I was all over Holly Holm, and she had kicked her to hell. So I love same thing with Amanda Nunes versus Rousey. People really believed Rousey was going to win. I don't know what they were smoking, but please bring it to my house, and we'll take care of it. But it's just amazing that my buddy got to chill with 2 amazing fighters over here, one East Coaster, one West Coaster, and that just. Got a collab. So I can't wait for you guys to see that. Make sure you go to the Instagram at Dank City. My boy runs all that multimedia, cuts all the videos, and there's a lot more content than that.
We've been trying to build up the YouTube more. You can go to the Instagram to follow like the story where it'll tell you like when those videos are coming out and it'll swipe up to the YouTube. But we've been trying YouTube, the thing is, the Instagram kind of cuts off the beauty of the wide shot. You know what I mean? When you post it in there and it's not the same feel. So we kind of felt like instead of making everything square, so you're cutting off a full frame. That's why we've been trying to go the YouTube route. I understand a lot of other things work great on IGTV and Instagram, but YouTube is just, cinematically as a background, and having filmmaking, you can't get away from the wide shots. You know what I mean? Like it's so weird to adapt to the social media world for the square visuals and the way we watch things up and down the vertical way in the story, But yeah, if you can, you guys follow the Instagram, of course, but be on the lookout if you guys are on YouTube. Just look out for us there.
Yeah, and so you'll get a lot of great content over there. And since we don't have a UFC all the way until December 7th, which is absolutely just ridiculous.
That's the same day of Andy's fight.
Oh, wow. So,
it's in Saudi Arabia.
It seems like they like to take numbers from each other. I don't know why they can't just make a deal with each other and be like, we're going to go this weekend so everyone can support your sport, and then we'll go the next weekend and everyone can support our sport. But instead of everyone are poor sports and they don't act like adults. It's a lot like in the United States, people just can't act like adults and act nice and human, and we're all in it together. There's no one against each other. It's all of us are here together. You're here to love each other and push positivity. I mean, everyone's had bad things happen, but no one likes bad things. So you don't need to be a jerk, a bully. None of that needs to happen. there needs to be some better access to mental health care too. But that costs a lot of money, and it doesn't seem like they'd like to do that. But we'll get off the subject there. But I just can't wait. I guess they announced Khabib versus Tony again, and I don't even want to think about it. But this is like, I think, the fourth, fifth time this is supposed to happen. If this doesn't happen, I'm gonna cry. I don't ever want to see either fighter again. I don't care whose fault it is. But if one fighter gets injured, one person pulls out, sorry for that little glitch. If anybody causes this fight to not happen, I'm literally, it's gonna break my heart. So I hope that all of us fans get that, and I look forward to that as well. And so,
did they announce what date that would be?
I don't think they have the exact date on that.
More or less announced.
Yeah, they announced the matchup, and they'll find that at a later date. But so let's see. Now that the Andy Ruiz thing is all done, and your other fighting stuff, you got any other content coming over there that you guys?
We did an interview. I'm not sure how many of your audience are into professional skateboarding, but we did an interview with Boo Johnson.
Nice.
He's a local dude, Long Beach dude. He basically, he's not a competitive skater. He's more of a lifestyle skater. So I think that's why he kind of blends on so many things. But we did an interview with him and got to film him skate, and we're going to chop that up. And we might do a day in the life of. That's kind of our gig right now, is like do an interview, get comfortable with somebody. If, it ends up being a good, interview, then we kind of just say like, hey, did you ever want to do a day in the life of?
Oh yeah,
come
nice.
To you.
Yeah,
Who
no,
wouldn't,
Boo Johnson shreds on the board. If you guys go to YouTube or his IG, I believe he has some content.
His IG is on fire.
And a lot of these West Coast guys on the skateboard scene, it's always been hot, but it's getting really hot again. It's
weird because he's a great skater, but for a non-competitive skater to get some of the endorsement deals he's sponsored by Weed Maps.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
He has
that's
a
huge.
deal with Weed Maps. He gets like 2 free ounces a month wherever he's at.
That's
like he
crazy.
travels in the U.S., they get it to him. He told us the whole deal.
That's epic.
He has a deal with he did a commercial with Marshall amps, like the guitar and
No way.
speakers. Like I was like, what? Why? He has like a sunglass company. He opened up a skate shop in Long Beach in like the downtown new area called the Pharmacy. It's just another franchise of the already established Pharmacy skate shop. But a dude that's just up to a lot, who shakes hands with a lot of different industries. So that's why I think like most people might know who he is, because he's not just a pro skater. You know what I mean? He hangs out with rappers. He hangs out, sports events, stuff like that, I think. By the way, nice. That'll be a good piece. Other than that, we just work with Tommy Chong every week, and that's always entertaining.
That's got to be amazing, because Cheech and Chong were big influences us as kids on the West Coast over here. So for him to be able to hang out with him and put him in random scenes in Hollywood. I think one time you guys just dropped him off on a chair in the middle of Los Angeles.
On the middle of
Wilshire Boulevard.
Yeah.
Just dropped him off on a chair, like a school chair with some joints.
Yeah, he was promoting this thing called the Chonger, and it's basically like a foot-long joint.
Nice.
And he just had it, and he was just smoking in the middle of the road. And we did it for like a quick 30 seconds and then got out of there. But still, it looked so cool.
Okay.
I have him in a chair in the middle of traffic. But yeah, we do a lot of interesting stuff. But yeah, as of right now, I don't really know what else would be coming up other than us trying to just get a lot of the footage we already have out there. But if you guys follow the YouTube, you'll be seeing what's going on. I do a podcast on there, and we do talk about sports, but that one's more cannabis industry related topics in sports as well. We talk about new things hitting the market or whatever it is. But yeah, it's a full channel now that we're trying to do over there.
Nice.
Trying to put out a video Monday through Thursday, one a day.
Awesome.
And
just to all you listeners know, we're back on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, every single outlet there is now. It took a while to get back on there. iTunes doesn't just put any schmucks up on the air. So I'm just happy to be back there for you fans. So make sure you go and search, and it's the MMA for Money together as one word. Show makes it easier on the search. We're super stoked to be back there. We have our new cartoon animation that the producers and them are working on. So Bob and I will have some cool stuff coming for the fans just to have and the YouTube. We're also going to be picking up pace on that and have some more content for you guys as well. I just appreciate all you listeners and fans. We want to just give you a little special Thanksgiving edition, just podcast, because we didn't get to give one for this week with Bob and I. And we really do appreciate all you guys. Sometimes just having podcasts to listen to means a lot to me, just in my life, because it gets me through a drive, maybe a fight with someone, maybe just need to hear someone else. So I was stoked that my buddy Chris took his time on Thanksgiving to come over here this morning with me and give this interview. So if you guys could all please just go to our Twitter, follow MMAforMoney. That's the big J, our boss, MMAforMoney.com. You can get a subscription to NFL, NASCAR, NCAA football, absolutely everything. There's nobody better than Jay at NASCAR and NFL, NHL. Like the stuff that he pulls out is just incredible. I know that Christopher himself and I went through 28 days of madness with women's soccer, and we and Jay won us a grip of money. So I want to thank all you guys out there. Please go follow Chris at his Instagram. He will give you the tag right now.
It's cookie.crisp, CHRISP.edits. I know it's complicated, but you'll go to Mike's Friends. You'll find me on there.
You guys are all smart cats. And so, like I said, we appreciate you all. We hope you all have a safe Thanksgiving with your family. Hopefully this will be out just after you eat dinner. And if not, the next day for your travels home. So we appreciate all you. Take care, and can't wait till we get some more bets out. Later.